All right.
Cool.
All right, we're back. It is the AGFFA report, the week 5 recap, week 6 preview. I kind of want to call this the mid-season review too, because we're getting trades left and right in the league and in the NFL, special cuts with big news going on there. Anyway, I'm here with Jeff from Pups Purgatory. Hey, and Gumby, who I guess you're becoming a regular now, huh?
Trying.
Yeah, trying.
I skipped a work meeting for this because it was boring. This is much more fun.
I told Ross, man, same thing. Yeah, who needs work around lunchtime, right?
I don't.
I need lunch and talk about fantasy football. So Dan might join us soon. I'm sure he'd love to talk about his big win over the weekend against you, Jeff. Let's start there. So, Jeff, this morning, I already saw you've done 2 big trades. You've already sold Aaron Jones. Looks like you got more for him than what you sold him or what you sold to get him in the first place. I think you got a 4th and a 7th next year for him. And then, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, okay. So on that note, I think I sold him for equivalent to what I bought him for. And the reason is that if you recall, when I traded him, when I got him from Napon Jockstrap from Rick, I gave Rick a keeper. So in exchange, when I sold him, I didn't want a keeper because I think I'm okay there. So I just took 1 round higher on the 2 picks. And I said, that's probably equivalent. I mean, you could argue the value of Antonio Gibson, but, I think that he's all signs point to him being the future of the running back position in Washington. So I thought, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And then Antonio Gibson's probably a decent keeper option for next year. So I can understand that. And then the other one that came not long after that was the Christian McCaffrey trade to Savages. And at that point, I think we all connected the dots. You're done for the season.
Yeah, I am. And losing to the beer guzzlers was pretty much the end of it. Like I think I could compete, but now I need help, and I might as well just say, you know what, I'm gonna pull the plug, pull the ripcord, call it good. But I don't want to stock up one team to compete with Gumby. All right, so my stance on that is that Gumby's already drafted a good team and he's made the moves necessary to put him, a little bit higher than anybody else in the league. And quite frankly, I don't want to fuck him for that. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do to win. So theoretically, I could go to Michael, for example, and say, hey, Mike, I'll give you CMC, Allen Robinson, Miles Sanders, and give him everything and say, all right, now go beat Gumby. That's kind of a dick move. I don't want to do that to him. And also,
I'm glad we don't have rivalries like that. That would be terrible for this league.
I mean, I guess I could. I mean, I think it'd be a dick move. So I'm also following my guiding principles, and you guys remember my guiding principles in fantasy football are do right by others and win at all costs. Okay, so I'm going to do right by others, meaning I'm giving my team away in pieces to a bunch of other teams. Like I'm not going to stock one team, but I'm trading it to multiple teams. But I'm also winning at all costs for next year. So I don't think I'm violating my guiding principles, but I'm still doing, the things necessary because the season's pretty much over for me. So I hope that makes sense.
Once the CMC trade went through, I was like, yep, he's done.
Yeah, I can't do it. Now, Gumby, to just so you know, I had 2 deals in queue for after this past week. And it was all predicated on me beating beer guzzlers, right? I had a trade with Gus for Travis Kelce, and it was a fairly convoluted trade, but I was going to get Kelce from Gus. And then I had a trade with Jess to get Mahomes.
Wow.
So I was going to have Mahomes, Kelce, and my team all set up, if I'd have won, to go after you. And I don't know if it'd been enough, but I think at least I'd have a puncher.
It would have been competitive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have a shot at it. I mean, if I make the playoffs, then okay, let's see what happens. But losing to losing last week, I was like, man, I can't do anything. I'm out of time. So I had to make a decision and said, all right, forget it. I'm done this year.
Yeah, Jeff, I felt really bad watching the Steelers and more specifically Chase Claypool just kick the shit out of your
Who is-
team,
Who
but
is
also the
Chase
Eagles.
Claypool?
So
I'm not a Steelers fan. Who is this guy?
That's
From nowhere.
Mapletron.
Mapletron.
Man.
From nowhere, 4 touchdowns and 1,000,000
I wouldn't
yards.
say from nowhere. They were talking about him in camp and said this kid, like Joe, I think I posted that thing about Joe Hayden. He had said in camp, he's going to be a problem. And they were talking about how he was making plays every practice and blah, blah, blah. But he had a couple good, like he had I think a really good catch in week 1 along the sideline, like a toe tapper on the sideline. That was a great catch. I was like, all right, keep play. And they didn't do much the next 2 weeks. He had pretty good games, but they weren't like last week for sure. Incidentally, what's the record? Because that's 4 touchdowns in a game, and that's got to be somewhere close.
A record for the wide receiver top scoring?
Yeah, I think Welker has it. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I mean,
what
it was probably one of Welker's games where he was 20 catches for 150 yards and just some crazy number like that.
Welker probably had 20 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
a
how
punt
he
return
did.
touchdown too, something weird like that. Maybe for a rookie, he set the record, as long as we've been keeping records, but I don't know. Anyway, Jeff, yeah, I felt bad. Like we had that trade on the table for Kelsey. I know you also had something with Jess for Mahomes, which, as far as breaking news, that's the trade I just made. I went for Mahomes now.
Oh,
Nice.
So I just I took a page out of your playbook, Jeff, and pick to be named later. Good draft pick next year, and then depending on how I finish this year, it could escalate to I think an additional draft pick. So up to 2 draft picks for Jess.
okay.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like she was really close to beating Mike this week. She was only a 7-point difference.
Mahomes had a bad game too.
Well,
by his
I mean, it was a
by
bad
his standards.
game, but
A
he
down
still
game.
got 50 points, right?
Maybe a down game would be a better way to say that.
Sure. Yeah.
The Chiefs had a tough day in
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
It was it was a fun game to watch along with the Steelers Eagles game. But so yeah, Jess is okay with trading Mahomes right now, and I don't know who's going to win that division over there with Jess and my dad and JR and Touch Me Down, Keith. But good luck, whoever it is, because on that other division with you, Gumby, Jeff, I just have a bad feeling they're not going to do anything. They're not going to advance.
If you get the first seed, Gumby, you're basically get a bye week the first week of the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
I'm shooting hard for that first seed, man.
Well, hold on. So this is what's weird about our league and how we set it up. I think if you win your division, you get the 2nd seed. Like, didn't we set that up that way?
What do you mean?
Well, so like we're treating wild cards like true wild cards. Like a wild card in the NFL, if they're 12-4, they don't get the 2nd or 3rd seed; they get the 5th or 6th. So I think we did the same thing in Alamo. So actually, Gumby wouldn't get that guy. He would get whoever is the 2nd wild card.
You're right.
And that would be in your division more than likely. So anyway,
probably be a rematch, a rubber match against Whip.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, all those trades were going on. I saw Ross made his trade for Chris Carson, trading 2 draft picks to the Ramones for him. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Ross. And I guess for the Ramones too. Like I think his team looks all right still. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen as far as here we go. So go back here. There we go.
That looks good. I like the way that looks.
What, the rankings?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you took number 1, Gumby. Congratulations.
I've been working on that for a long time.
Yeah, dude, those are solid numbers. The only bad thing is you're only the 3rd best ranked roster according to Fantasy Pros.
That's because my bench is not so great. The bench is the weak part, but especially now with it wasn't great, but now that Cook is out, it's going to be a little trickier for me for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and actually,
Dalvin.
Oh, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
He's got a torn something. He's got a strained something in his groin. I can't pronounce it.
Man, if it's torn, that's good for
No,
me.
it's not
I got
torn.
Alexander Madison.
He
It's
actually came back in and
partially
played. He came back in and played a play after the injury. I watched that game. He came back in and played a play after the injury, but he was mostly a decoy, and then they took him right back out. I think that probably what they're going to do, I guess he could play this week, but since they've got their bye week coming up next week, they're going to hold him out and let him get 2 weeks of rest instead of 1. It's probably smart on their part.
Yeah. That's my only saving grace, I think, against you this week. Is I have Madison. He'll come in and hopefully he'll have a decent game against the Falcons this week. But we can
Well,
get
you've
to that
upgraded your
matchup
quarterback
later.
too.
That's true. I have now. I hope that works.
I get my good
too.
quarterback back though. I get Rodgers back this week.
Yeah, I feel like it's still a coin flip between the two of us.
I had to go with Breeze this last week because Rodgers was on a bye.
It ended up working out. That game was really bad at first for the Saints, but they
I watched
turned that
that one
into a
too.
really nice one.
The Saints got lucky in that one. They pretty much stole that game. Chargers should have had that. And that young quarterback on the Chargers, that guy looks good. I mean, good.
That's who Ross has, which, by the way,
Yeah.
Welcome, Ross.
Thank you.
Hey, there's Ross.
Hey,
You want to add your 2 cents about Justin Ebert?
E-Bear. Yeah, I mean, the dude's a baller. I figured it'd be a shootout, and turned out to go just about the way I expected.
Yeah. And now you get to roll out one of those 2 rookies, him or Joe Burrow, every single week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, which means I'll get it wrong every time. But
Still, that's a good problem to have, I think, compared to some other teams in the league.
yeah, I got to roll Burrow against the Indy defense this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Chargers
yeah.
are on bye. That's right.
yeah.
Well, you never know. I think Baltimore is a better defense than Indy, so last week was to be expected. This could be, who knows?
I got 30 points out of Baltimore this last week.
Oh, damn, you
30.
have their defense?
Yeah, 30. And you know what's funny? The only reason I drafted them is because their name is abbreviated to Ball, so they match my team name.
There you go.
That's literally the only reason I got them as a defense.
Normally they're a top pick defense. So
It says Ball defense. That's me.
there you go. But yeah, I saw Hookem. You moved up to number 3 in the power rank, so congratulations. And actually, like this top 3 right here, Shook is still at 2 after I beat him. Fuck. But yeah, so y'all are 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now as far as if the season were to end this week because of coronavirus. And I was talking with Ross about this earlier. If it were to end, y'all have such a lead against, I think, Whip and Savages that y'all could probably afford 1 extra week of losses between the 3 of y'all. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought last week would be the week to lose, and I squeaked out a win. So this week may just be it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Got a lot of bye issues.
Yeah, so Gus, that right there, that's the provision where the season ends prematurely, and this is the math that we worked out on, or that you worked out on the how to crown a champion, basically, right?
Right. So it's 15 points. I think it's 15 for a head-to-head win, and then 1 point for each individual win against everyone else every single week. So
okay.
Shook still has the most total wins, but Gumby's not too far behind. And
He lost his quarterback.
Yeah, so it's not going to look good for Shook.
Unless I don't know if he's going to pick up Dalton or what his plan is, but that was hard to watch.
Don't worry. We're in discussion.
That was hard to watch.
You're going to sell him Brady, huh?
I'm trying to sell him Brady and Evans. I'm gonna give him the stack.
Holy shit!
And like I said, I'm helping everybody, so might as well give him a shot at it as well. The only person I haven't helped out of this list is Ross. And Ross, you say you don't need a wide receiver, man. I've got options if you just wanted like a better flex, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever kind of studied me, but I don't like to trade away a lot. I usually kind of keep my team the way it is. I make a couple moves, but I think I've already kind of hit my limit as to what I'm willing to do to sacrifice my position next year, So
Hard to argue with that given the results you've had. So yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, I mean, if the season ended second place, that's 3 years in a row, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, as far as other power ranking lists, it didn't move around too much from what I saw. Smuffs moved up a little. M Team got off a 16th place. I mentioned mid-season review. There were just so many trades that happened this past week, and I was surprised certain people were giving up the way they were. Dad didn't have to give up. He was in first place, and that all started with that Kittle trade to you, Gumby. And I know we were talking about Kelsey, and I was just busy. I couldn't really work out a deal with you, but I couldn't believe he just traded him for a 3rd-round pick.
I thought that was a good deal.
Obviously. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't have a 1st or a 3rd next season, but that's okay.
yeah, I know this might not be the best time to do it, but it still probably might be a good idea to discuss, arms races in this league.
We definitely have one.
We had one last year, and
Yep.
that it's happening again. I don't see how it wouldn't change, or how it wouldn't, how it's going to stay the same, basically. And I don't know. I don't want to put too many restrictions on people and how they want to play the game, but I don't know. It's just,
Well, it's we kind of talked about this earlier, but it's a result of the 16-man league. I mean, we didn't used to see this, or not to this extent, and it's because there's so many teams and the teams are so thin. Everything gets piled to the front end. People make these big moves. People feel like they fall behind a lot sooner than they normally would, and they give up. And it's like you've put it. It's like a seesaw effect, year to year.
Yeah.
It's very balanced.
Well,
Yeah.
you say that, Ross, but we have this has gone on for longer than this. I remember, let's see, I think it was Asmus who did this, like 5 years ago when he won his 2nd championship. And my dad did the same thing that year. He went after it as well, or our dad did. So I think it's been ongoing for a while, and it happened last year. I don't remember 2 years ago if it happened, but we've had this go on for quite some time, regardless of the teams, the number of teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like
Oops.
the potential is there where someone could end up trading, just like Jess did last year, almost her first 5 picks. She had 1 pick, which was to keep Mahomes, for the 2nd. So she traded her 1st, 3rd, 4th. So the top 3 picks that she had. The next iteration of that is the top 4 picks, the next top 5, and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I hope maybe we can think about how we can avoid a team basically trading their whole draft and only paying $60 next year. And, I trust everyone wants to stay in the league, but, they don't say like, oh yeah, my team's not going to compete. I bounce. I'm out.
I don't think we have that problem for the most part.
Yeah, I think you're right. But
And don't forget, Jess did win the dynasty pot.
Yeah.
So you can do it.
yeah, so you're saying there's
compromising the
precedent.
future. Right. So you can win multiple championships without compromising your future. Now, she did compromise it a little bit to win that 2nd one, but the 1st one, she obviously didn't compromise anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if she really needed to make any moves that year, though. I could be wrong. I don't think, and Gus, you may remember better than any of us, but I don't remember Jess having to really mortgage anything to win her 1st championship.
All I remember is that was the year she had Mahomes, her 1st year, and
Yeah.
got him for like a 10th or 11th round pick. So
Yeah.
It was a 7th-round pick because she drafted him right before I was going to get him.
oh,
I remember that very clearly. I had to buy a new mouse pissed. Because she was sharking me the whole draft.
Yeah. Well, she was pregnant then, so I don't know. She was getting help from 2 people then.
Double brain power.
Yep. All right. So anyway, that's the power rankings this week. I'll try and get through this fast. I know there might be some things we got to get to as far as the preview. If y'all are ready.
Yeah.
As a quick review, I did get everybody's records over the last 4 weeks that we've been doing this. Gumby, you started a little late, but you are currently 7-1. So you've got the best winning percentage.
I picked Jeff over Dan last week. That was the only mess up I had.
We all
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a clean sweep that went the other way. Smuffs was the one that was almost a clean sweep, so that was a good pick for all of us. We all picked M team. Everyone picked Shook except for you, Gumby. You picked me last week. So I'll tally it up eventually. I wish I would have done it beforehand, but yeah, good job. Yeah, we'll start with Ballzilla and Dynasty this game. This was a little bit more favored toward you, Gumby, at first, but I did just make the trade. I did just update the roster. And the only thing I haven't put in yet is my kicker.
So here's why I'm going to win this one, Gus.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be across the field from Tom Brady the entire game. And every play he's out there, he's going to be thinking to himself, I'm the GOAT. I'm the fucking GOAT. Not that guy. Me. And he's going to just light that shit up, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I could see it. Yeah. He's having an MVP like year again. And you know, I didn't think I needed Mahomes just to compete. I'm 3-2 now. I got Shook. I beat him. So I gotta go for it now. So it just gets me a little closer this week. And I'm a little luckier that Delvin Cook's out for you. So
Yeah, I was gonna say your squad looks good for this week, Gus. It's not a long-term squad, but it's good this week.
I think Mike Davis could end up being in a timeshare when McCaffrey comes back.
I think that was a really good trade Jeff made because of that.
Yeah. Like he might not be projected 20 points a week, but maybe he can get 10 still. He'll get some third down plays and whatever. And I'll take that with a squad just trying to get to the playoffs and anything can happen. My wide receivers, I think, are pretty good for where I was at in the draft. And I still got Kelsey, number 1 overall. So, yeah, it's not a perfect squad. I know we still have a rest of this week to go for trades. Maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. But yeah, I like my chances. That's where I'm at. I'm back to like I could pick myself now for wins. And that's what I'm going to do.
You've got the best number 2 running backs available right now in the NFL.
Yeah, right.
That's really good.
Yeah, and I can't trade them though. Nobody would want them.
Well, no, because their main guys could be back, anytime now.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going up against the best team, by power rankings, by what you've already assembled the past week and a half or so. This is the test for me. If I could get over this, I could do it. I could get in the playoffs and make some noise. So, but that's why I'm picking me. I'm back on the gravy train, the dynasty train. I could do this.
I'm picking me, obviously.
Yeah, I figured.
And I've been
later. Go ahead, Russ.
I was going to say I've been surprised by Gurley. He's actually been putting up some decent numbers. I was staring at him in the second round in the draft. It was between him, David Johnson, and Le'Veon Bell. Now, at least I didn't take Bell, but I think I rode Gurley for 4 years, and I thought it was time to kind of let him go, set him free.
Take him out back behind the shed.
Yeah, no, he's looked pretty decent for you, man.
Well, Atlanta's under new management now, and I think that they're going to be a little more favorable towards running the ball and maybe some tosses to him because he's really good catching passes out of the backfield, and the Falcons just really haven't done that a lot this year.
That's weird because they used to do that with Freeman all the time. So I don't know why Gurley's at least as good a pass catcher as Freeman would be.
I think he's probably a little better than Freeman.
You can make the argument. I
So
think he caught like 80 balls 1 year or something stupid.
Yeah,
Ross, you
I
would
thought
know.
that was
You've
really
had it
weird.
forever.
Yeah.
That he hasn't been a lot of catching, but this last game he had a couple of catches for about, I think, 24 yards, 2 for 24 catching.
So I haven't watched any Kansas City ball except for the first week, the opening game of the season, and all I know about CEH is that he sucked on the goal line. So has he figured that out here now, a third of the way through the season, or is he still like?
I don't know. I haven't
struggling
watched any
for
games.
yardage?
I haven't watched any games.
Well, I've seen a couple of their games now, and the thing with Kansas City is I don't see them on the goal line much because they have a 50-yard touchdown pass, to get them in the get them the touchdown anyway.
Yeah.
I think he's still a great running back. I think what you traded for him, Gumby, was kind of high, a first-round pick, but
Well, that was the other trade I was working at that time was with Monty for what's his name out of Las Vegas.
Josh
And Monty
Jacobs.
wanted a first and a fifth and something else too. And I was like, oh, I have to pass on that, bro.
Wow.
He's
Yeah,
such-
in that case, I would say you made a better trade. So
Yeah, right.
And I think did Monty trade that guy? Or does he still have him?
he's still out there.
yeah, I don't think Monty's made a trade yet.
He was trying to work a trade for that dude. I can't remember that dude's name.
Jackson.
There you go.
Josh Jacobs.
Oh,
Jacobs.
Jacobs. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
he was trying to work a trade for him, and Jacobs is good, sure, but I don't think he's first and fifth good.
I don't know where he ranks right now, but we'll see here in a little bit, I'm sure. But a first and a fifth sounds high, but I don't know if he's like the fifth best running back in football right now. Maybe he's asking for the right amount. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I would say it's the right amount if you can get to a championship game, like you put the condition on that.
Oh yeah.
But just
Conditional
outright,
trade.
that's a lot. So,
Well, Gus, I'm going to take you to win this game because first of all, you need a kicker, and once you add a kicker, you'll be favored to win. And secondly, you need a wide receiver. Right here. I mean, do you like Allen Robinson? You like Michael Thomas? What about Mike Evans? I mean, I'm talking about straight off Mike Evans, but if you need one of those other guys, surely you can put them in instead of Jamison Crowder, right? Or N'Keal Harry.
it'd be pretty
Just throwing
funny
that
if I
out
got
there.
Mike Thomas from you and it just switched that fast. Damn, I don't know.
Well, he's not
we'll
fighting.
talk about it.
Yeah.
What was the deal with Thomas this past week? He
He
in a
punched punched somebody in the face during practice, and they sat him for disciplinary reasons. It sounds really weird to me. I didn't know Michael. My impression of him was that he's not a hothead. So
Did you see the Pat McAfee show bit on that?
no, what happened?
So McAfee was talking about how sometimes if that happens, they'll give if you hit somebody in the head while they're wearing a helmet, it's kind of hard on the hands.
Yeah.
Right. And instead of saying he's on the injury report, they'll suspend him for fighting.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's an injury, maybe?
It may be an injury that they were covering up.
Oh my God.
Well, they have to announce injuries today. Is that right? Today's when they release injury reports, or is it Thursday? I thought it was midweek. So if he shows up on the injury, if he doesn't show up on the injury report and he's hurt, they can get in a lot of trouble for that. So we'll see.
That's what I just saying. What McAfee said about it. He said that when they get into fights, which he said happens a lot. Sometimes a player will be suspended when actually what they did was hurt themselves on the other person's pads.
Idiots.
Kind of.
I mean, if you're gonna do a Steve Smith and break some dude's jaw with a sucker punch. What's that all about?
Yeah, he was talking about. He said it's really hard to fight with pads because the best trick, you don't hit him in the head. You got to uppercut past the face guard, and that's really hard to do because if you miss, you'll catch your knuckles on that face guard, and it messes you up.
Anyway, I'm gonna pick you to win, Gus, with the assumption that you weren't gonna be talking here before too long to get you a little reinforcements.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. What do you think, Ross?
This is tough. On one hand, you got the first place team that I'd like to lose, and on the other hand, you got the dynasty that's hot and in my division, currently sitting 2 games back from me, but that could change quickly if he goes on he's already on a tear if this tear continues. So if I take all of that out and just think, pick on based on what I think would happen, like I said, I think you've got a good team this week, Gus. I think you're going to keep winning while you've got those guys. It's going to change, but I'll pick you this week.
There we go. Wow.
I love it.
Now the turntables.
I love it.
All right. You're the underdog this week, Gumby. All right.
I've been underdog every week, man.
Yeah, that's true. You still pull it off. Touch Me Down versus Hall of Shamers. I can't say. Oh, wait, hold on. Something is definitely not right here.
That's not right.
Yeah. There we go. Touch Me Down versus Hall of Shamers. Both kind of middling to bottom of the pack teams. Saw Derrick Henry had a good game last night, so he seems to be back. Touch Me Down's the only team I think in that division that hasn't changed their roster for the worse, giving up their best players. So
Oh yeah, he's still sitting second. So
yeah. Shamers, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing. They're not winning. They're not trying to trade. It seems like for the benefit of their team or to get next year. I don't know. Because I haven't even seen if they've updated their lineups the best they can. Chris Godwin, I guess, is still out there is questionable. Maybe he would put him in for Golden Tate or even Justin Jefferson. Probably Golden Tate. So that'll improve his projection. It does look like Heath for Touch Me Down has basically put their best lineup in right now. Yeah, I don't know. My initial impression is I think Touch Me Down still has a pretty good roster, and we talked about this before. Shamers, I think, curse themselves. It doesn't matter how good that team's going to look. I think he's still just going to, get more losses as the season goes on. I believe in curses, so for me, I'm just going to pick Touch Me Down, regardless of projection. I think his team is going to come on strong over the next couple weeks.
Same here. Touch Me Down wins.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shamers, man, he was sitting at the draft with an Ezekiel Elliott jersey on and picked Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
There's lessons to be learned every season. Maybe Dusty learned it this year. We'll see.
All right.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, Scabs versus Savages. No lineup fix yet for Scabs. You can tell Kelly's still in there and Keenan Allen.
He doesn't have – he's got Ito Smith as his backup running back?
Yes.
Ew.
Yes.
That's not great. I need to be hitting him up and see if he wants to trade.
I think he's looking for draft picks.
Yeah, I think he's done.
He's selling. Yeah, he got rid of CEH. That's right. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think last week Savages, he almost got you, Ross, right? If Josh Allen didn't have kind of the crapper game he had, it might have been different.
That's right. Yeah.
To me, this is easy. I think Savages, he just got McCaffrey. He might not play this week, but, he knows what he's doing. He's got the team that's being built up to take on just about anybody. So I'm picking them.
I think he doesn't have a backup tight end, but I don't really think it's going to matter. He could roll out. As was mentioned this about the Dynasty League, he said last week he rolled out a roster. No, I think it was the Houston League. He said he rolled out a roster that was missing a player, and he still crushed his competition. And I told Asmus, that's super disrespectful to your opponent. I think that Savages could do the same, could show the same level of disrespect and still dominate in this game. So I'm taking the Savages.
Wait a minute. When did you start this?
25 minutes ago. You had the invite.
Okay, great.
We're not rewinding. Welcome,
Okay,
Dad.
I'll catch up.
Yeah.
Are we doing predictions?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I wrote mine down.
Oh,
Nice.
So
I think we're on the
what was
third
first
game
one?
right now.
I'll
Yeah.
just tell you the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you at? Okay, this one?
No. Okay, hold on. Go ahead and give me your prediction from Dynasty Ballzilla, just so I can write it down.
Okay, Dynasty Ballzilla. Boy, I tell you what, that's going to be closer than it looks.
It already looks really close.
Looks close.
Yeah.
Maybe even closer though.
Yeah, once Gus puts a kicker in.
Yeah, you needed the kicker. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll get one on the waiver wire. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I'll go with Ballzilla. Oh, Savages. Wait,
No, yeah.
I got
Ballzilla's fine. And then the other one we had was Touch Me Down and Hall of Shamers. We all picked Touch Me Down on that one.
I'll take Touch Me Down too.
All right, clean sweep there. So now we're caught up. You're at Savages, Texas Savages and Scabs.
Yeah. I think we've all got Savages.
Oh, you picked him too, Ross?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
picked Savages also.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is
I got
Ed, you wanna-
Savages as well. Savages as well.
JR is in a sell off and wait for next year mode.
So, Jeff, you traded Aaron Jones.
I did. And
you
Christian
got-
McCaffrey.
You got what?
And Christian McCaffrey, and I'm working on trading some other guys away as well.
Okay, what did you get for him?
For who?
Either of them.
I got a second-round pick for Christian McCaffrey, and I got a 4th and a 7th for Aaron Jones. And just I made this clear earlier, but I got more draft pick value for Aaron Jones than what I bought him for. However, when I bought him, I also gave up a keeper. So that's where it's offset a little bit. I didn't get a keeper in return when I sold him, but I got a little bit better draft picks. So I was not trying any funny stuff. I wasn't.
He's already answered that when you weren't here, and the answer was yep.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And fuck this game. No, that was a good game. That was a good win, Dad. Serena and I were watching the game, and late in the game, I had to do something else, so I missed Claypool's last touchdown. And Serena, I was downstairs doing dishes or something. And Serena came down and said, "Well, I got good news and I got bad news." I was like, "The Steelers lost. That's the bad news." She said, "Nope, they won." But she calls him Chase Cooley. Chase Cooley caught another touchdown pass. I was like, "Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me."
Yeah, that's one of those blow up things, Like you got what was it? Rex Burkheaded a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
got-
that was against the Ramones. Yeah.
And what are they calling him? Mapletron?
Mapletron. Yeah.
Mapletron or some shit? You got Mapletron.
I did. I got Mapletron. Oh well. I'm
Okay,
happy
well,
for the
all right.
Steelers. That's all right. All right, next game.
Next game is Whip and Hook'em. Whip's 4-1. They're really close to getting up in that top 3, but this would need to be a big win against Hook'em to do that. Go ahead, Ross. You're currently almost 20-point underdog.
Yeah, I've got some bye issues this week. It's I think it's finally my week to lose. I mean, I don't have much else I can do with the bye issues I've got, and I've got, like I said earlier, I've got Joe Burrow against Indy. That's a good defense. He may struggle a little. I don't think he'll be as bad as he was against Baltimore, but I don't expect him to have a great game. McKinnon had a weird one because the 49ers were so bad in that game that I just don't even know what to think. I don't think I can look at that and say, well, he's not going to do anything going forward. I mean, they were just awful. So I got to just throw that game out and see what happens going forward, I guess. Although, going forward after this week, I've got Carson to plug in now instead. So that helps. But yeah, I mean, it's a rough week for me. I don't think I have a good shot at this.
So you're not willing to trade to get a piece this week to try to make it look a little closer, I guess.
I can afford a loss. It's got to happen eventually. If I don't need to just, and make moves just because I have some bye week issues. Yeah, it's okay.
That's
Well,
pretty
he
good.
picked up
That's
Aaron
pretty good.
Jones now.
Whip has him.
Whip has Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I made my predictions, that wasn't taken into account because I was going to take Hookem, but
Damn, I didn't even think about that. He doesn't even have him in right now.
Right.
Not only that, if you look at who he's got Kyler Murray and Kenyon Drake against the Dallas defense. That's a
Yeah.
lot of points. It'll be offset somewhat by Hookham's DeAndre Hopkins, also against that defense. But it's hard to even call it a defense. It's so bad. I just don't see there's any way Hookham gets this. Even a big trade's not going to make 20 points of difference.
Yeah, I'm with y'all there. Sorry, Hookham. I don't. It's not like I want you to lose. I guess I do, but
I'd love for Hookham to win. That'd
Yeah.
make my life way
Sure.
better.
Sure.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
yeah, I'm going Whip here.
I mean, I really want to take Hookham because he pulled off I guess it's an upset last week. And, you know, I like the underdog story, but I got to go with Whip. Adding Aaron Jones in there. Yeah, I think he's going to win.
I'll take myself just because, but I've stated my case.
What do you think,
I
Dad?
was going to go with Hookem,
Yeah.
but who's Green Bay playing this week? Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah, so you're going Whip though?
Yeah, I got to take Whip.
Yeah.
There you go, Ross. There's some bulletin board material. You
Yeah,
against the
that's right.
world.
That's right. I'll go talk
Hey, I had that last week.
Yeah, you did. All right, Beer Guzzlers on a one-game winning streak, but still a big one-game winning streak against Shook, who had their first loss of the season last week. Oh wait, real quick, I've totally forgot about this. I got my 100th regular season win last week. I mean,
Congrats.
So you're the
You know,
first.
no one else has gotten 100 regular season wins in the AGFFA. So
Nice job.
That's
Congratulations.
impressive. That's a good record.
yeah. I
That
may not
was
have
a,
the rings because that was a little after my time when I was a dominant championship team, but I'll
That
make
was
a plaque
big,
for
big
100
win.
wins or something.
Congrats on that big win, though.
Yeah, thanks. I
Good
really
time.
thought Jeff was going to catch up like in the next 3-4 weeks and just he'll take it. And I was stuck at 99, but anyway,
What's Jeff at?
Jeff is at like 98 or 97.
Yeah, that was close. I thought it
And
was going to get
Gumby's
it
close
last year.
too, but he has to really win out basically.
I'm within 100 this season.
Yeah, you could do it.
Wow.
I know, right?
Is that
It's amazing.
wait? Is that including the history from the what were they called, the Browns or something before I had them? Or
No,
is that just me?
it's just you.
Oh, cool.
The Browns. What are you
Brown
talking
skins.
about?
I think they were
Brownskins.
called the Brown skins before I
Wait.
got them.
The Brownskins were your team at one point?
Well, I when I bought them, that's what they were called. I renamed them when I bought them.
Wait, I thought you started this like in 2006, 2007 with us.
2006 was my first season, but that was like the third or fourth season for the league.
Okay, you must be thinking of a different team. Brownskins were a 2009, 2010 team.
I think. Yeah,
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of those guys we had early on in the year that then dropped out. I think it was a guy I
Yeah.
used to work with at Siemens.
Wild
Yeah,
I
Turkey,
think that,
Route 44, those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, those were Route 44 was Lisa's husband, Sean,
Right.
and Wild Turkey was Wayne Garrett, and I worked with me and Justin Johnson and Wayne worked together along with Lisa at Bear. So I think Brownskins, and there was another one. There was Chainnail.
Oh, Chainnail.
Made the playoffs and then quit. You know,
That's right. To date, he still has one of the best winning percentage records, and then he just left.
yeah.
That's weird.
And then there was, and that was back when the dues were like $20 or something too. It's not like it was a huge commitment, you know. And then we had gotta be lucky, I think.
That was Aaron's
that
girlfriend,
was-
right?
Yeah, that was some chick that Dad was dating. and she lasted, I think, 2 years. I think. But then there was brown skins that / punitive damages. Same owner, 2 different names, and then she quit after 2 years too.
Yeah.
And Gumby, I think you took over that team in
That's
year
what I thought.
3.
I thought that it was the Brownskins that I took over.
I think it was, but it was not original. Like it was like 2008 or 2009 when you took over that team. So
Somewhere in there.
wins per year, you may be ahead of, or at least closer to Gus in terms of number of wins per season. But we'd have to look at that and see.
Maybe. We've
Anyway,
digressed.
back to my game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Shook has gotten fucked up here. Dak is gone. Okay, he's putting Baker Mayfield in. Okay, great. Let's see. He's
Holy
got
shit, he has so many people on bye this week.
yeah. He's if there's a chance for me to beat Shook, it's this week.
Wow.
I'm taking Guzzlers.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Dan. You kind of jumped the gun when you started selling off pieces. You're sitting at the top of your division now and winning.
Yeah, but the only piece I sold was Kittle,
Yeah,
and I got a 3rd round pick for him. So
yeah.
It kind of looks like it's your only piece that you sold.
it is.
I guess what I mean is the only one that was worth selling.
Yeah.
Well, Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. I've already declared him as my keeper next year.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Probably a good idea.
But I'm taking the Guzzlers here.
So I've got a discussion ongoing with Justin to trade Tom Brady and Mike Evans to his team to get the stack going. You missed the initial discussion, Dad, but I'm not trying to stack any one team. I'm spreading it out amongst a lot of teams. And I looked at his team and said, well, he needs a quarterback and he needs a wide receiver. So, I'll see if he's interested. Now, right now, he's still thinking it over. So I haven't heard anything back from him. And we'll see. But if he accepts that trade, I would have to take Shook. If not, I'm going to take the Guzzlers.
Yeah, if he makes that trade, then yeah, I'm probably in trouble because Baker Mayfield can get some points for sure. He needs a running back, I guess.
Well, again, if you want a wide receiver, Dad, come talk to me. I can hook you up.
For what ultimate purpose?
Well, I mean, if you want to
Win the division and get knocked out in the 1st round.
Well. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my pick.
I hear you.
Jeff, you basically picked both teams. I need a pick. I'm just sticking with this. Okay, Shook.
I'll take Shook.
I am too. I know Shook. We all know Shook. He's going to make that trade, I think, before the end of the week, especially once I remind him and everyone else this is the last week to trade.
This is the last week for trades?
Yeah, he waits last minute all the time. So, but he won't wait until the game's already over. So I'm picking Shook. Sorry, Dad. You're right. You have the projection. You have the win right now. But unless you strengthen your team, he will fill in some missing pieces here.
Who's left on your team, Jeff?
Michael Thomas.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
What do you think, Gumby?
Guzzlers. He's going to get a deal done too.
There you go. What do you think, Ross?
Taking Guzzlers.
Well, this is as even as it could get. 2-3 picks. All right. Well, good luck to you, Dad. We'll see what happens. Oh God.
M team, move on.
Well, hold on. She just doesn't have her quarterback in yet, which with Tannehill, that's 34 points coming her way.
Teddy.
What happened to Mahomes?
She traded him.
To who?
To me, Dad.
Oh, you have Mahomes.
Yes, I got it like right before the call.
Well.
But we're not talking about my team. We're talking about Bubba Gump right now.
I know,
so that's a big 34 points, swings it back up to her being, advantage, I guess. he needs to fix his defense, and I'm sure he's picking one up to kind of even that out. So this might be closer than you think.
I'm going to
Minshew's
go
playing
with
Detroit.
the M team.
Yep, I agree. Minshew's playing Detroit. It's almost like a bye week. It's a shame Asmus isn't around to hear that.
Yeah, I'm going with M team as well. Although I really don't know why at this point. She's got to put a quarterback in, and she has who?
Tannehill.
Or Bridgewater.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she's. Yeah, we know Mahomes is a different maker, but trading Mahomes for Tannehill and getting something out of it, it's not like you've just, wrecked your team by any means.
Did you give up any picks?
Pretty solid.
I did. It's like a second round pick guaranteed, and it could be an additional pick. The details are on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick her. I know, like, she's gonna put in Tannehill. I don't know. It's not the strongest team, but if Deontay Johnson is playing and he's not really injured from last week, maybe he'll come back and have the 20-point game he was probably going to get last week against the Eagles. So yeah, I'm going with her.
I'll take her as well.
Jeff, I didn't catch you. What did you pick?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the M team.
M team. All right.
I'm going to take M team as well.
Yeah. All right. Just another game where they haven't fixed their lineups yet. Russell Wilson will be replaced with possibly nobody. I mean, Drew Lock is out there as 30.2 points, but I don't even know if he's really playing.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from him.
I just saw that Melvin Gordon got a DUI, so if he does play, he's going to be throwing the ball a lot.
Ooh, I did not know that.
I just got a notification on the phone just a few minutes ago.
Did they cut him?
Huh.
I don't know. He's got a DUI, which means he's going to be dealing with some things that aren't football related this week.
No, they're football players. They get through it like whatever.
But I guess he's going to put in Drew Lock or he's going to hit the waiver wire, one of the two.
Yeah, I think there's still a couple people out there, but
Are there starters out there?
Go
Do you have
flat.
another running back?
Yeah, Gordon's the running back up there.
He
Dak's
has.
out there.
Sam Darnold.
No.
Ugh.
Kyle Allen is the first one that comes to mind.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
Kyle Allen's not starting, is he? I thought they'd gone to what's his name? Just
Alex
came back.
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they said
Andy Dalton.
he can play.
Dalton's available. He's starting.
Hold on. I got to put in a waiver request for Dalton. Maybe I can trade him off. You think I'm joking? I'm doing it right now.
you've got a high
I kind of
waiver
sort of
claim.
considered picking him up because they have a really
What's
strong
your
wide
waiver
receiver core.
position?
Dalton may be a good quarterback to have now.
What are the waiver ranks right now?
Looks like I am
'Cause I'm telling
fifth
you,
in
I was
line.
going after Dalton to stop Shook from getting them.
Shook won't get him.
Oh, Shook. Yeah, there's no way. You pick right before him, but yeah.
Yeah, so I figured he wasn't going to be there by the time it came to me anyway, unless, somebody desperately needed a quarterback. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Dalton might be an okay pickup for folks because there's a lot of wide receivers, and he seemed to have a pretty good rapport already with most of them. He played really well at the end of that game. He's not Prescott, but he's not bad either.
Well, I got two Cowboys fans ahead of me in the waiver priority, so odds are he's not even going to get to me. But whatever. Hey guys, I got to bounce. I got a meeting with my boss here in just a few minutes, so I'm going to get on that and talk about stuff.
You should skip
All
those
right.
meetings like I do.
Yeah, I would, but yeah,
Well-
so I'll send over my picks to you after I get done with this meeting. All right.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right, boys. Y'all take care.
Later, Jeff.
Later.
Why am I so low on the waiver where I live? What the hell is
Because you
this?
won.
Oh,
Yeah, you're 3-2. Gosh, this thing is so annoying.
but I'm after Whip. I'm after Savages.
How do I go back to the normal?
How are you after
scoreboard?
Whip? That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Because they won this last week too. And they have a
He's
better
just-
record than you.
He's just ahead of me, and so is Savages. I don't know.
This is where we were at, right? As far as okay, yeah. I think it looks really. Wait, this is still not right. Damn it! I hate when this happens. All right, here we go. I mean, I know the spread or the projection is going to be fixed eventually, but I mean, this might be the week where Napalm finally comes back and things look a little bit better for him.
Kind of depends on who the Ramones put in at QB, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to get Dalton. So
Who's he got a running back? Anybody?
What running
James
back?
White.
James White.
yeah, that's not too bad.
White gets a lot of catches.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if he gets a 30-point running back and then 9.9 in there, 10, that's 40. It does get a little bit closer, but it still looks like Napalm would be favored projection wise.
I'm going to pick the Ramones because picking against people in the Merino division is bad. It just is.
I'll go Napalm. I mean, I don't know. I think this might be the week he comes back and gets off this little skiddy zone.
He could use a little strength at running back, but I'm tempted to take jock straps as well.
I'm taking the Ramones.
I'm taking the jock straps.
All right. Nice 50-50 split there. Okay. This actually might be, last game, and it was Jeff. Didn't have the time to get to it. So Jeff, who is basically given up and might be weakening his team even more this week versus Smuffs 1-4. This might be like the suck for luck kind of game, right? Seeing which team wants to lose to get a better draft pick position next year.
All right, gents, I got to bounce too. Work beckons.
All right, man.
Catch y'all later.
All right, see you.
Bye.
I mean, things look actually good for Jeff still with his team, but
Yeah, but he's not done. He wants to sell every last piece.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be decimated before the week's out.
Yeah, but
And I don't think, and he's still got pieces he can sell, whereas Smuffs doesn't. Lockett's good for trading.
But he's on a bye.
Mixon maybe going forward, he could probably get something for Mixon.
yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I think Jeff is going to be able to field a team, and it probably will end up being a little bit better than Smuffs this week. So I'll
Yeah.
pick him.
I mean, even if he gives away Brady and which he's been complaining about him the whole year, and Evans, that's a lot to give up. But he'll have Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr. He's got quarterbacks.
Right.
Michael Thomas was out because he threw a shit fit last week, but he'll probably be in.
Well, not this week. He's on
Why?
bye.
Oh yeah. He's on a bye.
Yeah.
I'll take the pups.
Yeah. What do you think, Ross, to close it out?
I guess do we know why Smuffs didn't even have a running back in? Was that just sight? He
didn't bother. Apparently he didn't bother because he had Melvin Gordon they could have put in. Oh no, he was on a bye last
no,
week.
he was by. He could have put on Carry-On Jones or Dion.
Young
Well, I
Lewis.
think his only option was Dion Lewis, and I don't know what happened, but he got lucky. He still won his game. I don't think he'll make the same mistake again.
But I don't think.
But that's bad news if Melvin Gordon has a DUI. I guess he has Philip Lindsay who would come in. So maybe it doesn't.
Yeah,
look
it would
too
actually
bad.
help him not having to split it if it was all Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I'll still take the pups, unless he, which apparently he's on the process of doing. So
Yeah.
I'll take Smuffs just to be contrary, but I also think that Pups' team is going to be down to bare bones.
Yeah. I mean, I think they both probably want to lose this game. That's my guess. So maybe they're actually gonna, not field the full roster. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys
Don't we
jumping
have
on.
something against doing that in the Constitution?
We do. I was just
Doing
gonna pull
what?
that up.
doing what?
Field.
By not starting a full roster?
Oh yeah, like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so like there's no penalty if you do not have enough players to field a complete team, but it's expected that you try to field one. Oh God, field goal. Oh yeah, here it is. So obviously the owner has given up. Can y'all see my screen?
No.
Oh crap. Let's see.
We believe you. Just read it. We know.
Well, for video purposes.
Oh yeah.
If it's obvious that an
For
owner has
YouTube.
given up on the season and is not contributing by fielding a vastly non-competitive team, the owner will be put to a non-participant vote. They've left seriously injured players in the active lineup while healthy players are on the bench. Invalid lineup. Owner does not respond to trade requests. Multiple complaints. So I don't think Jeff or Smuffs, Jason, would really qualify for any of this.
Okay.
They're pretty active. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to say that.
yeah. Yep. All right. Well, yeah, appreciate you guys jumping on again and taking some time to go over the picks and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, for anyone listening, which I don't know how many extra people do, but this is the last week to trade. So got anyone in mind that you want to trade with, reach out this week. So
Well, when these closing sales, going out of business sales go on, it really, and I know I've participated in them before, but it takes a 16-team league and really brings it down to what, 10, 12-team league?
Yeah.
yeah, we did talk about this earlier. Yeah, Ross brought up the whole, like, it's like a seesaw. You've got some teams that are really good one year, next year they're not so much. And it just seems like we probably need to start thinking about ways to curb it or just protections, or I don't know.
Well, in football, anything can happen any week, right?
Yeah.
And generally, it's the same for fantasy. However, when really good players are just thrown out on the block for people to pick up, and people are willing to give up picks and all of that to get them, and it happens every year. I'm going to only speak for my team. My team is not really strong, but occasionally I'll have somebody blow up like Claypool did and stand a chance to win in a game. And I guess that's still possible, but it gets harder and harder to do when you're going after a team that has, top quarterback, top running back, top wide receiver, top tight end. It's your chances of winning are slim, if any.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my spiel on it. I know I've done it too. It's allowed.
Well, the thing is, it's allowed, but it can be fixed. I know we could say precedent and this has already happened, so we can't change it, but we can. We've changed some other things in this league. So if enough people kind of see there might be an issue or just something that could get worse as time goes along, why not try to just suggest a fix by next season. You know,
Yeah, I don't know what can be done though, you know.
there's ideas out there. Ross and I were
Well,
talking earlier. He had this idea like maybe we can't trade first round picks going forward.
yeah, right, right.
And that way every single year you enter a draft with a first round pick. And yeah, you can still be the 15th or 16th overall, but you get to get a player that might be a good piece on your roster, no matter
Well, I
what.
would take that. I'd take that a step further, unless we're saying the same thing. If you draft somebody in the first or second round, you cannot trade them, right? They're
The thing with
on
the
your.
second round is there could be keepers there, so it's hard to throw the second round in there. That's my thing.
You know, it's like
Well, you mean if they've advanced to a second because you kept them, right?
Yeah, right.
So our draft system, I mean, it says that you can't keep a first or second round player that's drafted in the first 2 rounds. Drafted. Make the distinction between drafted and a keeper that's being held in the second round, and say that to extend that, they can't be kept and they can't be traded. I mean, that just I think that's what Dan's saying. That's an idea
Yeah, it's an idea.
right. That means
that
that
keeps the
means
king
that,
making.
hey, I got a guy picked in the first round. He's great. I have no chance. Give me your next year's first round, and whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
That
We've
that
done
would
it in the
curb
past.
this king making thing. You still, there's always going to be lots of players from, I mean, lots of players, especially in a 16-team league from the third round on, that are going to be worthy of trading and under a number of different circumstances.
Right.
And it won't lead to such lopsided, you know.
Do we know?
teams.
Do we know how many times a champion was a champion as a result of these
Last
kind
year.
of trades? Last year's one. Because,
Well, okay, Jess would definitely be one. Jason was another one the year he got Zeke. I mean, I think there's a way to look it up and see like who else kind of did big trades in a year that maybe involved a first or second round pick, or at least someone who was a first or second round drafted player that year. But yeah, those are two examples that come to mind right off the bat.
so what Jeff? See, here's something I'm not sure about. What Jeff did is he went and made a trade to get Aaron Jones. Now he's
Okay.
turned around and traded Aaron Jones to somebody else for another, more picks next year.
Right.
I'm not sure how. I'm frankly, I don't like it. You make a trade for somebody only to get trade bait to get more picks next year. That seems.
Well, when he made the trade, he was going in. He was trying to field a competitive team and thought he could win a string of games, and you kind of put an end to that. So now he's.
But Aaron, yeah, I did. I put an end to that. But Aaron Jones, I mean, he already had some very good running backs, even though he doesn't have McCaffrey, right? He
Yeah.
had strong running backs.
Right.
But I guess I could see him getting Aaron Jones as an insurance policy to maintain the top level running backs, but he turned around and traded him right away. That feels.
Yeah, but he traded it right away because you beat him. You put a stop to him considering a championship run again for the position he was in. So he just thought, okay, fine, yeah, I'm not going to try it now that I'm 1-4. So really, it's your fault, Dad.
So
Who he trade him to?
Mike
Whip.
Okay, he sent that to Whip. He's possibly going to be sending Brady and Mike Evans as a pair out to somebody like Shook.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, he's doing it, a closing out sale. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I just think we could probably look into maybe not being on the buying end of those kind of trades, of saying you could offer up your first round pick. I like the idea like you came up with, Ross. I thought that makes sense. The first round is that big fish that everyone will listen to and like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll have your first round next year. Well, if that's not out there, you have to do a little more digging if you're okay with a second round now or a multiple 5th and 7th or something like that, you know?
Yeah, there's some things to
Yeah,
think.
so first round and possibly second rounds are not movable once drafted, and you cannot trade away a first round the upcoming year. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, so it would just be every single year going into a draft, every team that's in this league has a first round pick and can make a pick. But what I think we should have available though is if you had a 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th overall pick, so still in the first round, but you just didn't like what was out there and you wanted to trade back and maybe get multiple picks in the draft, you can still do that. But you enter every draft with a first round pick at the very least.
Oh yeah, you mean draft day trades? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like I did with Mike this year. I gave him my 16th overall for 2 4th round picks that he had. So I don't see any issue doing that.
No.
So anyway, we have plenty of time still this year and during the off season to work it out. I know once it's the off season, some people just forget about fantasy until it's like July again. But I think enough people are talking about it. We'll remember it no matter what, and we might have something in place before the year's out.
Well, you're not going to post this till tomorrow or something, right?
I mean, I might get around to it by the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, anyway, I really appreciate y'all being on and taking the time again. So.
Sorry I was late. I was up early and I just finished taking a nap.
It's all good, Dad. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Take care, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.